As we probably know, Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the most anticipated anime right now. Who doesn't want to watch thrilling battles and spine-tingling curses? But have you ever wondered which moments left a lasting impact on fans and critics alike? From Yuta's insane power-ups to Gojo's awe-inspiring display of limitless power, this is our list of the top 20 moments in Jujutsu Kaisen. First up on our list is one of the most unforgettable, simple, short battles in Jujutsu Kaisen, Maki vs. Miva. Miva thought it would be an easy fight, initially brushing off Maki as weak, but oh boy, how she was wrong. Using that split second, Maki rushes with full force, she overpowers her, and she disarms Miva quite easily. But what truly makes this scene a standout is the character growth and the action. Maki's pole arm skills are nothing short of spectacular. That 360-degree swing is like a legendary combo move. When it lands, you can't help but shout with excitement. It's the kind of moment that gets the adrenaline pumping, but what adds depth to this battle is Maki's strategic brilliance. Breaking her weapon into two and throwing it towards Miva to distract her is simply marvelous. Also, with the Aikido tactic, you can easily see how good the choreography is in that scene. This is like one of those I can't believe that just happened moment that just keeps us coming back for more. Next on the list from the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero film, Gojo vs. Miguel. This is one of the fights that showcases Gojo's incredible physical abilities, where he rarely used his curse technique. Miguel decides to challenge Gojo, but it's clear from the get-go that he's way out of his league. Then, it just shows how unfair the battle is as Gojo easily backhands Miguel's supposed overpowered whip like it's nobody's business. Miguel was boasting that he killed sorcerers for decades, but then here he is getting beaten to a pulp. If Gojo wasn't in a hurry, he probably would have mocked Miguel for challenging him. After Gojo gracefully dodges Miguel's swings, he should have realized that he's clearly outsmarted. Then comes the slap followed by a kick combo. That slap though, Gojo literally slapped the goofy out of him. And don't forget that kick. It's like Miguel's head disappeared for a moment. Miguel attempts to slow Gojo down with curses, but it's futile. Although Miguel is there to stall Gojo for some time, surviving that beating from one of the strongest, if not the strongest being in the verse, was a miracle in itself. Moving on, we have one of the best opening fight scenes in all of anime, Gojo vs. Sukuna in episode 1. Now, you wouldn't normally expect this kind of face-off from the top bosses in the series to appear in episode 1 of the anime. Considering that Sukuna is just possessing Yuji's body and is still so weak, this fight brought us a glimpse of the potential of Jujutsu Kaisen, along with hopefully the best one-on-one fight that's about to come. But let's talk about how Gojo pissed off Sukuna by casually blurting that he's the strongest while stretching, which was both cold and disrespectful. Sukuna immediately takes over Yuji's body and attacks, but Gojo really did Sukuna dirty in this fight. He easily dodges and sits on his back like he's playing with a child. This scene gives the audience an idea as to why Gojo was called the strongest sorcerer in his time and how impactful he'll be in the entire series. Up next, Megumi invoked his hidden trump card, the Chimera Shadow Garden, to fight off against the Finger Bearer. Now, why is this scene such a gem? Well, aside from the fact that it looks like a rave in the upside down, Megumi's control over this domain may not be perfect, but we finally saw his true potential and why Sukuna was so interested in him. He's basically the puppet master of the Shadow Realm, and his opponent is just trying not to trip over their own feet. The scene gains depth from the name of Megumi's domain, Chimera Shadow Garden. The term Chimera suggests something one wishes for, but appears illusory or nearly impossible to attain. Initially, Megumi thought that Chimera Shadow Garden was unattainable, a distant dream or nothing but a mere illusion. But his vivid imagination and profound mastery of his curse technique led him to manifest this domain, which helped him defeat a special grade spirit all on his own. The way we saw Megumi become crazy like a rabid animal was something we thought we'd never get to witness considering his attitude. Coming up, we have a fight between Gojo and Jogo. Now, you might be confused by the names, but not by who the winner is. This scene is more than just a battle. It's a display of Gojo's domination. The very idea of tension or a back and forth struggle is laughable because, well, in reality, Gojo had this match in the bag before he even set foot in the ring. In fact, Gojo's victory was so assured that he didn't even need to remove his signature eye cover. But Gojo, being the stylish sorcerer that he is, didn't settle for a simple win. Instead, he turned this fight into a lesson on domain expansions for Yuji, using poor Jogo as a real-world example. In the beginning, no matter what Jogo threw at Gojo, it didn't hit, and he realized that his arrogance was just about to lead to his demise. As the fight went on, we also got to witness just how strong and overpowered domain expansions were. The animation was spectacular, especially with Gojo's unlimited void. Even if Jogo threw everything he had, labeling this encounter as a fight is quite unfair for the one above all, Gojo. Blitzing in at number 15 is a scene that surprised everyone who saw it. Yuta copies Inumaki's curse speech technique. Yuta's ability to replicate Inumaki's cursed speech technique after merely observing it raises numerous questions and adds an element of mystery to the series. Inumaki's cursed technique isn't a straightforward ability, it comes with specific requirements and complexities, and it can only be used by sorcerers from his clan. What makes this scene particularly intriguing is the absence of a clear explanation. Yuta using the Inumaki clan's cursed speech without any negative effects goes against the usual Jujutsu verse rules. The way it took the audience by surprise, the impact, and then the hype after it was all worth watching. Best of all, Yuta uses the word die, a word that not even Inumaki used in the entirety of the series. Moving on, let's talk about the epic beatdown between Kento Nanami and Haruta Shigemo during the Shibuya arc. Nanami, the formidable grade 1 sorcerer, steps into the scene and locks eyes with Haruta Shigemo. In an instant, he creates a weak point on Shigemo's face and delivers a slash that you could probably hear echoing in the next district. After hitting him 2 more times, if it wasn't for his cursed technique, Shigemo would have passed away after the first one. This scene is all about the element of surprise. Now, up until this point, we've seen Nanami's powers in action, but this time though, it's through Nobara's analysis that we get a glimpse of his true capabilities as a grade 1 sorcerer. The sheer one-sidedness of the fight. It's like watching an Olympic sprinter race against a toddler. I mean, there's no competition. So when we witness Nanami's lightning-fast takedown of Shigemo, it's not just about the action. It's about unveiling the true strength of a grade 1 sorcerer that leaves us fascinated. Another thing that makes this scene special is that it's one of the few moments where Kento Nanami shows his emotions, and sadly for Shigemo, he just so happened to make Nanami go into rage mode. Next is the epic showdown between Yuji, Todo, and the formidable Hanami. Now this scene is a true masterpiece in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and here's why. Hanami is an all-powerful cursed spirit. It's going to take more than just one sorcerer to bring him down. Hanami's strength is off the charts, and this fight is nothing short of a choreographic masterpiece. In this intense battle, Hanami's strength is put on display as we see a special grade cursed spirit finally have a long drawn-out battle. We also saw for the first time Todo's cursed technique and just how smart he is while using it. From Yuji's consistent black flashes to Hanami's constant barrage of attacks, this scene made sure that fans were constantly on their toes. But what makes this scene truly special is the ingenious tactics employed by Yuji and Todo. They're not just throwing punches blindly, they've got tricks up their sleeves, or should we say claps. Every move is calculated and every strategy is carefully executed. It's a testament to the creativity of the characters and the genius of the series creators. And let's not forget the crisp animation. The colors, the effects, the sheer intensity of the battle is simply a feast for the eyes. Next up, it's the moment just after Todo and Yuji's fight against Hanami. This was the first time we saw Gojo's Hollow Purple in action in the series. Hanami was an opponent not anyone can just beat, which made this moment iconic for several reasons. First and foremost, Hanami's strength is no joke, and the way he's been handling the students has kept us on the edge. But then, Gojo-sensei makes his grand entrance, and what a move it is. Gojo unleashes the Hollow Technique Purple, and it's a game changer. This attack doesn't just hit Hanami, it obliterates almost everything in its vicinity. This technique was the true definition of overkill and a one-hit delete attack. But as we all know, Hanami barely survives that attack, and if he faced it head-on, not even his dust would have been left. The visual effects, especially the build-up before Gojo fires Hollow Purple, are breathtaking. It pulls you inside while maintaining an image of how dangerous Gojo is and his mysterious power. Coming up, let's not forget about the intense scene in the movie, the climactic showdown between Yuta and Geto, a battle that culminates in the ultimate final moves that leave us in awe. We have Geto, who goes all out by channeling every last bit of his 4,461 cursed spirits into a single devastating attack, his maximum Uzumaki. It's like witnessing a symphony of chaos and malevolence as he's summoning the very essence of darkness itself. On the other side, we have Yuta, who has no other choice but to commit his life to Rika, and their connection deepens with a kiss. Now that she's empowered by Yuta's selflessness, she undergoes a transformation into an even more formidable and sinister form. Her cycloptic evil eye opens, and it's just like peering into the abyss itself. It's a visual spectacle that leaves us both in awe and slightly terrified. Now, the clash between Rika's concentrated curse energy and Geto's Uzumaki is nothing short of cataclysmic. The moment was a perfect ending to their long-awaited showdown. The soundtrack and animation were spot on as well, and we couldn't have asked for anything more. With the first to reach the top 10, we have Nobara and Yuji's Double Black Flash. Now, the scene in which Yuji and Nobara execute a double black flash is a standout moment in Jujutsu Kaisen. The season finale of the fight against the cursed brothers Eso and Gechizu bring this battle to its climax. It's the big showdown, and when Yuji and Nobara team up so perfectly that they both use the super strong rare move at the same time, it's so iconic. Yuji and Nobara's synchronization is flawless as they seamlessly switch positions while dealing with their formidable opponents. Amidst the battle, Yuji and Nobara strategize to exploit their enemies' weaknesses. As Yuji and Nobara unleash the powerful Black Flash technique, their precise timing results in a devastating outcome for the two unfortunate brothers. Black Flash is a rare and super strong technique in Jujutsu Kaisen. However, we all knew Yuji could do it, but Nobara doing it with him was something we never expected to see. The idea of going into a zone where their senses get sharper adds an interesting twist to the fight. But it wasn't the concept, it was how the studio executed the moment. The slow motion poses along with the black lightning and the rock and roll guitar music in the background was enough to give some viewers goosebumps. Coming up next on our list is the part in Jujutsu Kaisen where Toji takes out Riko and gets the better of Geto.
帰ろう、リコちゃん。
It's a real curveball, this one. See, Riko decides to go home with Geto, but out of nowhere, bam! Toji shoots her in the head with his gun. I mean, it's a total shocker that leaves everyone in the audience wide-eyed. After that, his abrupt act highlights Toji's ruthless and pragmatic nature. Standing over the lifeless body of his friend, Geto is left in disbelief and anguish. I mean, who wouldn't be? Even with all of Geto's immense power, driven by madness, he still can't defeat Toji. Toji's sheer skill and ruthlessness are on full display. What really hits hard in this scene is how Toji just casually shuts down Suguru up close. It shows how self-assured and skilled he is in combat, even against a special grade sorcerer. Then, the fight that comes after is like a clear-cut moment that sticks with you. After Riko's death, everything that unfolds becomes a game changer in the story. It's like a tiny domino that sets off a chain reaction with big consequences. Riko's death didn't just affect Geto, but also played a crucial role in his descent into madness. It became a catalyst for the significant changes in the Jujutsu world. But Geto wasn't the only one Toji fought, because at number 8 we have Toji versus Gojo, a battle that showcases the intensity and unpredictability of Jujutsu Kaisen. Toji's a master when it comes to weapons, both cursed and conventional, and he's a big threat to anyone that comes in his way. So what does Gojo do when dealing with this tough opponent? He ramps it up and blows up the entire place. As Gojo gets distracted, Toji appears behind him from the swarm of cursed spirits. Toji's cursed tool, the inverted spear of heaven, can stop any cursed technique, including Satoru's Limitless. Toji stabs Satoru in the neck and at every vital point possible with the spear, negating his infinity. But hold on, this is Jujutsu Kaisen, where nothing is as it seems. Gojo is back and full of energy, ready for a rematch. This was a no-brainer, but what made it so special was that we now know why Gojo can't die. This was almost the moment when Gojo used Hollow Purple for the first time chronologically. After blowing Toji and everything behind him into oblivion, the moment these two shared was something special in our eyes. What's more special about the fight between them is that it was when Gojo and Geto were no longer the strongest, but it was just Gojo now. A lot happened from Gojo becoming more overpowered to Toji finally remembering Megumi's name. It was a roller coaster ride that had us going insane.
Kyoshiki, Murasaki.
Next up we have Mahito versus Mechamaru. Mechamaru and Mahito's fight is a powerful showdown exploring sacrifice and the quest for power. Here's why it's awesome. Mechamaru was stuck under a heavenly restriction for years. At first, Mahito deduces that Gokichi's retreat might not be driven by a desire to kill, but suddenly, the floor beneath Mahito collapses. Mechamaru gives it his all and fights Mahito to the death, while Geto casually watches the two duke it out. This moment was insane to see, as we're not only shocked to discover that Mechamaru was the mole, but that he double betrayed the cursed spirits. Mahito was also as despicable as ever, and this fight just made fans hate him even more, solidifying his role as an antagonist. But despite Mechamaru's incredible efforts and the display of his newfound power, the battle takes a tragic turn. In the end, Mechamaru meets his demise along with his dreams of meeting Miva. The emotions behind the fight, as well as the solid animation, made sure that even the prelude to the Shibuya arc wasn't going to disappoint. There were also several references from other anime like Evangelion and Gurren Lagann, and that made it even more epic. The showdown between Yuji and Choso is a prime example of badass battles in Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji is definitely a tough fighter thanks to his unique divergent fist, but on the flip side, we've got Choso, who should have the upper hand because of his more refined curse technique. It's the classic battle between skill and sheer force. This scene lets us see how far Yuji has come in terms of his growth, and he's now fighting a cursed womb without any help. And let's not forget the moment when Yuji strikes that badass pose. Yuji may be a tough opponent, but in the end, luck isn't on his side. Choso smashes his collarbone, crashing him to the wall and sending him into the realm of sleep. The choreography, the fluidity of movements, and the impact of each blow are nothing short of spectacular. It's like watching a martial arts masterpiece unfold before your eyes. This fight is also one of the few moments where we get to see the two fighters actually use their environment to their advantage, which is quite rare in anime. Coming back at number 5, we have Toji's comeback during the Shibuya incident arc.
今までにない。
Now, this is a memorable and impactful moment that not only was a service to the fans but also significantly impacted the storyline. Toji had already left a strong impression on the series when he appeared in Gojo's past arc where he met his end at Gojo's hands, but his return during the Shibuya incident arc takes the narrative in an unexpected direction. The revival of Toji is orchestrated by Ogami, who possesses the skills to change her target into a deceased person, but only in the body, not involving the soul. However, what makes this scene truly captivating is the unexpected twist. Toji, being the formidable and independent character that he is, breaks free from Ogami's control through sheer power and determination to remain his own person. Toji's defiance culminates in a dramatic confrontation where he doesn't just kill Ogami, but also aligns himself with his son and allies in their battle against Dagon, a powerful cursed spirit. In the end, Toji's second demise occurs as he takes his own life after he asks Megumi what his last name is. If Toji didn't arrive, the sorcerers fighting Dagon would have been a goner, and the emotional impact he left after meeting his son was one of the best in the series so far. The way he also took care of Dagon was again another masterpiece straight out of JJK. Pushing its way into the number 4 spot is when Geto reveals he is Kenjaku.
きっしょ。
The revelation of Geto's true identity as Kenjaku is a pivotal and masterfully executed moment in Jujutsu Kaisen. The story of Suguru Geto and his involvement with curses dates back to 2006, creating a sense of history and complexity around his character. While his physical life ended in 2017, his influence continued through Pseudo Geto. What makes this revelation particularly impactful is that even though Gojo suspected that Pseudo Geto wasn't the real Geto, he didn't know his true identity until much later. Now, this created a sense of suspense and kept fans guessing about the mastermind behind the scheme for a significant portion of the story. However, what sets this reveal apart is that it doesn't stop at simply unmasking Pseudo Geto. Instead, it goes a step further by introducing the character of Kenjaku as the mastermind behind the entire Shibuya arc, which caused so much bloodshed. This discovery was brutal and unexpected and will play an important part as the plot goes on.
おやすみ五条悟。
Moving on, we have the Jujutsu Sorcerers versus Dagon. The battle between the Jujutsu Sorcerers and Dagon is an intense and gripping confrontation that highlights the power and danger of special grade cursed spirits. It's a battle fought by some of the most skilled Jujutsu Sorcerers, including Maki Zenin, Gento Nanami, Naobito Zenin, and Megumi Fushiguro. In a rapid and synchronized assault, 3 skilled Jujutsu Sorcerers launch an onslaught on the cursed spirit. But the battle takes an unexpected turn as another domain expansion is initiated, unleashing a barrage of Shikigami from the ocean. The clash between Dagon and the Sorcerers was one of a kind, as we just see how strong the domain expansion of a special grade cursed spirit can be. During Hanami's fight against Todo and Yuji, you'd have thought that special grade cursed spirits could easily be defeated, but that was because Hanami didn't use his domain expansion. This time, powerful sorcerers have to team up to beat Dagon's tough skills. Every moment is a challenge for them. If it wasn't for a certain someone, they would have most certainly lost. Coming in with a bang at number 2, we have Sukuna versus Jogo. The battle between Sukuna and Jogo is a thrilling and intense showdown that exemplifies the raw and devastating power of Jujutsu Kaisen. The scene starts with Jogo noticing that Sukuna's marks are still on Yuji's body. Instead of freaking out though, Jogo seizes the chance and decides to stuff all 10 of Sukuna's fingers into Yuji all at once. It's a clever move that Jogo picked up from Pseudo Geto, trying to give Sukuna temporary control over Yuji's body. Now what follows is an epic showdown. No matter how ready Jogo thinks he is, Sukuna Sukuna's power totally overwhelms him. Despite Sukuna bossing him around, Jogo doesn't throw in the towel and fights back with some fiery moves. It's a moment that showcases Jogo's resilience and determination, but reality hits differently. Even with his ultimate move, Jogo was bested at his own game as Sukuna uses a cursed technique we've never seen before. The choreography and execution of this sequence are masterfully done. What's even better is that Sukuna acknowledged Jogo's strength but brutally burned him both figuratively and literally. And finally, at the top of our list, we have Gojo versus Jogo and Hanami.
ここ弱いんだって
The battle between Gojo and the combined forces of Jogo and Hanami is a breathtaking and strategically rich confrontation that showcases the immense power and wit of Gojo. In the midst of the battle, Jogo and Hanami decide to raise the stakes by using domain amplification to boost their energy. This choice adds more suspense to the fight, showing that the cursed spirits are going all out to defeat Gojo. But it doesn't end there, as swarms of transfigured humans attack the civilians, and in a moment of genius and pure skill, Gojo activates his domain for just 0.2 seconds and wipes out every single enemy in sight except for Jogo and Hanami because of their domain amplification. Gojo was just flexing at that point, and we get to see just how bloodthirsty and psychopathic he was when he destroys Hanami to the point he's just a mark on the wall. This was Gojo's ultimate display of power, exceeding the combined strength of two unregistered special grade curses. Jogo couldn't do anything at that point as Gojo was just smiling all throughout the fight, showing us that he isn't a hero who'll save everyone, but someone who isn't afraid to make sacrifices, even if it means civilians will get hurt. That wraps up our top moments in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, it's your turn to join the discussion. Which of these moments left the biggest impact on you? Share your favorite in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more Jujutsu Kaisen excitement. Until next time, see you in the next video.